The World 100 was one of the races of the year, and one of the big storylines coming out of it was the fact that Jonathan Davenport dominated much of the beginning of the race. However, he would fall victim to Ricky Thornton Jr. a little before halfway, and then when it looked like he might be ready to strike, he suffered a right rear flat tire, had to bring it into the hot pit, and that sent him to the rear of the field with just about 10 laps to go, and he just didn't have enough time to really mount a challenge to get back in contention for the win. Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. You find the link in the description below. Davenport kind of broke down how it all went south for him there late in the race. As I said, he led the first 41 laps of the race before Ricky Thornton Jr. took advantage of a restart and was able to slide him through 3 and 4 and take control of the lead. We can take a look at that pass right here on Flow Racing. Davenport obviously in that black and gold number 49. Ricky Thornton in the white, green, and black number 20 RT up there on the top.
Thornton's going to go to the outside. Down the back straightaway, he's high in the lead. Can someone finally pass Davenport in this race? He throws it in, and we know what happened in Lernerville last week, DJ, and Thornton's got the lead.
So there is the pass from Ricky Thornton Jr. There, really tight slider there with Davenport getting to the back of him, but was able to get that pass and take the lead from Davenport. However, Davenport did maintain his second place position through the middle portion of the race, but eventually lost the spot to Dale McDowell with 11 to go following a restart. He would also get passed by Ryan Gustin as well, albeit that pass wouldn't count, given a caution would come out for Chris Madden. During this caution, Davenport hit the hot pit after suffering a right rear flat tire. He would get it changed as well as his right front and return to the field at the end of the lead lap. I think it was around 16th. It's kind of hard to tell, obviously, because the Flow Racing scoring is still from the previous lap where they had him in third, I think. And so it was hard to tell where he actually started, because I think he very quickly started working his way around people at the tail end of the field before he even completed that lap. I think he was like 12th or 14th by the time they completed that lap after the caution. He eventually would rally to finish in 7th. We can kind of see here what happens on this restart, where Ricky Thornton Jr. gets a pretty good run there, and he kind of falls victim to Dale McDowell and Ryan Gustin.
12 laps to go in the 55th World 100. We're back underway.
They fired at the apex at 3 and 4. Good restart for Thornton into turn number 1. They're trying to go 3 wide for second. McDowell on the bottom. Squeezes up Hoffman down the back straightaway. Dale McDowell. They will have 11 laps to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to get away. Davenport up top. Hot through the middle. That is Gustin down the main straightaway. Second spot. They can taste it into 1. But Thornton leads.
So you can see there, he kind of slips up right there on the top side. Gustin would get around him, but I think the caution would come out, so they would revert back to the previous lap. And obviously only McDowell had gotten around him. But you could tell that he just didn't have the fire-off speed that he had earlier in the night. Ricky Thornton kind of gapping him almost immediately by 4 or 5 car lengths right there. And obviously the caution would come out for Chris Madden, as I said, and Davenport would bring his car into the hot pit and get those tires changed. We can take a look here is what the tire looked like when they took it off. So obviously a lot of wear on that tire right there. So that is what it looked like when they took it off the right rear. So he kind of broke down how his race went with Flow Racing following the race. And this is what Davenport said. He said it had a slow leak in it because I got really oddly tight getting in and started chattering the right front. And then I couldn't use the gas pedal down the straightaway at all. So it just got worse and worse and worse as we went there. But obviously we were still going, and I could see on the tire where it had not really blistered, but like I could tell where it had been run low for a while. And then I could tell when that caution come out, I thought it was a little soft when I was down there weaving my tires trying to clean them up, because I picked the left front off the ground. They were pretty high one time. And then we took off. I couldn't go down the front straightaway at all, so I knew the right rear was really low at that time. So I was just hanging on and hope that it wouldn't blow out and tear the deck up and things like that. So obviously I think he's referring to that restart there where Ricky just gapped him by 4 or 5 car lengths. Just really wasn't able to stay with him down the front straightaway. Davenport then shared that after he came back on the track, he was running lap times a second faster than Thornton, McDowell, and Hoffman. And he kind of shared a what if, saying if it had happened with 20 to go, maybe we could have got back and had a shot. He added, I wish it would have just went ahead and went down, or if we had a caution earlier, maybe it would have went down then. All kinds of what ifs, but luckily I think I've got a few years left in me, so get a couple more shots at it. So obviously a little bit disappointed, discouraged by the timing of the tire going down with just 11 laps to go, not really giving him enough time to kind of make a charge and work through the field there to challenge Thornton, McDowell, and Hoffman up there for the win. Just unfortunate, but as he said, he will be back, obviously, in ensuing years to maybe get that breaking World 100 victory. So he will be back on his schedule. The next race is Volunteer Speedway with the Flow Racing Night in America Series on September 11th. That's this upcoming Thursday. He'll then obviously return to Luke Soil Late Model Dirt Series action on September 18th through the 20th at Knoxville Raceway, one of his favorite tracks that he likes to race at. We'll see if he has any more pointed comments about the track. I know he had some comments last year that made headlines about that track. Not a big fan of it. I think very probably similar to his comments about Huset's as well. But that is kind of how Davenport broke down the end of the race there and how it all went south for him with that right rear flat tire, noting that it had a kind of slow leak in it and didn't really kind of affect him there until the very end, or at least seriously affect him there until the very end, and obviously prevented him from kind of making any kind of real challenge to Ricky Thornton Jr. Or Dale McDowell, and had to go and take it into that hot pit, get it changed up, and then just didn't have enough time to get back to the front, eventually salvaging a 7th place finish. But let me know what you guys made of what Jonathan Davenport had to say here and how he broke it all down. Let me know in the comments below.